So, all right, so we have 8 heads just to get started with. So I'm gonna zoom in on this head number 1. Okay, the first step into making any hair, no matter what you're doing, is to pick a part. We gotta pick a part. Okay, hair, you know, if you notice anyone with long hair, it all originates from sort of one place. And typically the parts are going to, whoops, you can't even see that. They're gonna be somewhere between like here and here on the top of a head, right? Like if you have a comb over of a guy, that's like as far over as you get in terms of parts, and it will go, you know, you're combing over, his part would be here and you'd be combing over from there. So it's generally somewhere, and that's just common sense. If you look at somebody's head, right, you can see the part. So that the first step is find your part, okay? So I just made a mark at the top of this head, and there is the part. Okay, so that's step 1, and I'm literally gonna write step 1, okay? Find your part, or just determine where that part is, okay? And this is the oval, you know, that I would be starting my little facey with here. If I was drawing my face, I would start with an oval. Okay, so very simply, step 1, find your part. Step 2, the hair always, always, always has to go. It has to penetrate through this oval, okay? It has to go across the face, okay? You want like a quarter of your oval to be covered with hair, and I think that's where people make the biggest mistake, is they have the hair on top. They're afraid, right? You have the part even, but they're afraid to penetrate the oval. You gotta go into the oval space. You absolutely have to. As soon as you put hair in front of there, it makes sense. So that's probably just the most common mistake, especially with children, but adults too. You can't be afraid to go in that space. So step 1, find your part. Step 2 is chop through that oval, okay? You just have to, okay? So if this had been my, oh, that's very crooked. If this is my face where my eyes are gonna go, right? You just, you know, just steer clear of, you can go around the eyes, but your hair is gonna go through the oval. Here it's hitting the eyes, here are my ears. And at least you're set up for success at that point. Okay, so step 2 is, it's kind of pointing weird. Step 2 is chop through the oval, okay? Step 3 is you're also going to go over and beyond the hairline, okay? So you don't realize how giant hair is. Even like hair that's plastered to somebody's head is, when you're drawing it, represented by a line that goes over the scalp line, okay? It gives it that volume. You see how far over I went on either side? So that's step 3, is go around and up and beyond that oval circle. And that is it. So, and don't worry, I'll do lots of examples, but like literally in a nutshell, find your part, penetrate your oval, go up and beyond, and then style it accordingly. So let's do a ton of examples so you can see how this holds true no matter what hairstyle you decide to do, okay? So we already have this silly little example right here. So what was that? That was my step 1, right? Was find the part. Step 2, go into your circle. Again, if you want to just double check where your eyes are gonna go. I know that they're here. They're halfway down. This one again, I'm doing so quickly. They'd probably be in right here. So I'm not covering up the eyeballs. But say this girl has bangs, okay? Guess what? I know where my bangs are going because I know where my eyes are going to be. Okay? And they all stem from my part, okay? So hair on this side of the part, right, goes this way, above and up and over. These are gonna go this way. I don't normally draw every strand of hair. I actually would not recommend doing that. But if you are going to do that and that's your style, that actually is fine. Just make sure that you always go back to the originating point when you're doing that, okay? So I always tell, when I used to teach kids, I would tell them, pretend your pen or your paintbrush or your pencil is the brush you're brushing your hair with. Do you brush your hair starting at the ends? No. How do you brush your hair? You start, you know, towards the top or at the top, right, at your part, and you brush it down. So I pretend, and it works every time, if you're brushing your hair, you're gonna do long strokes with your hairbrush or your pen, okay, and start at the top and go all the way down in the direction that your hair flows. Okay, and look at that. You have anatomically correct hair. So your bangs are just shorter versions, but they too start at your part. Okay, and you just go down on one side. They're just shorter length hair, and that goes around to the other side. Okay, so bangs, same thing, just shorter pieces of hair. All right, here's our third oval. Well, what happens if your, say, person's hair is in a ponytail? Well, first I have to say, do they have bangs or do they not have bangs? So that's number one. It's easier if you're just starting out learning doing hair to actually have it with bangs, because it helps you determine where the part is. And I usually stick my pony where the part is. So I determine what my step one, right, is pick a part. My step two, well, first I'll put my eyes in so I know where I'm going. I know how long to make my bangs. So let's see, my part's gonna be here. So I'm gonna say, okay, she's gonna have cute bangs, right? They go this way on the part, and then these ones go in the other direction. And so she's gonna make a pony. Well, I still have this, the step three still applies. So step one was part. Step two, have hair going into the oval space. Step three, have hair going above and beyond outside your oval space. Okay, so even if you have a pony, you still need to, where are ears? Boop, 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 boop. You still are going to have hair that's above and beyond your oval, okay? It's still bigger. It might not be humongous, but it's going to be bigger and go above it, okay? And you have a choice for your bangs. You can kind of go this way and then say, okay, these hairs are going back. You don't have to get that specific. You can even just leave it like a bubble. And then there's like a hair tie, okay? And there's your ponytail sticking off the edge. But those same rules, the step 1, 2, and 3 will always get you started in figuring out that part of it, okay? And if you can see, I switched to a Sharpie because that fountain pen was too smooth. The paper is too smooth for it. Wasn't giving it enough traction. All right, let's see what else. What if we did like a bun, right? So I'm just gonna outline the face, get the neck. So I always do, you know, vertical line down the center, a line across the middle gives me my eyes. Again, just so I can place where, like how far my bangs want to go. All right, let's say this person has no bangs and a bun. So what would we do there? Well, I am going to, you have a couple choices. I'll do two so you can see. You can pick a part. Say, I'm gonna do like a middle part. Well, if this was like, say their hair was like skin tight pulled back into a really, either a high ponytail or a bun, you probably wouldn't see, their part anymore, right? It would go away as their hair is getting pulled back. So you have two choices. You can, if you're gonna do this, like block it in, part one is pick a part, but it's gonna be covered. So we're not gonna show the part. So I'm gonna move to step 2, which is penetrate the circle. Okay, so see, I went inside my oval. And then part 3 is go outside the oval, right guys? Right? And then you can just pop a bun up on top. Okay? And that way, at least you know, if you're not drawing individual hairs, you know where we're going. Now, if you were drawing a hair, I mean, essentially you were doing this, right? So you're showing, indicating that the hair is being pulled up from the scalp. You can also, oh no, my page doesn't fit. I'm gonna have to put this under my tripod. Okay, hopefully that won't be too wonky. You also, say I was doing like 2 side buns. Here's a good way to do that. Here's my face. I keep totally messing up my horizontal line today, I don't know why. All right, so say this one again has a middle part, and then we'll do like 2 side buns. You have a choice. Another way to indicate the part, which I love doing this, is kind of cute, is, so say the part is in the middle here. You can do 2 lines to indicate like a middle part, right? Step 2 is to go inside your oval. Okay, so this is middle part, no bangs, side buns. You have the hair going inside your oval on either side, right? And then up and over. Up and over. It's gotta have volume or it looks weird. And when I'm having the pull back, granted, I don't go up and over as much as I go up and over if this hair was long. And I'll do another loose one in a minute. But you could do, and you could do like 2 little side buns on either side. And then that clearly shows a little middle part. Isn't that so cute? It's a very simple and very effective way to indicate that. So she's like, hey. Okay, so let's see, what else could we do? Kind of covered the major bases. This one, let's say she has long hair. I don't even know. Let's see, I haven't done any long hair with bangs. We could do a middle part. Oh, you know what's fun is like a widow's peak. You know, like that widow's peak is when hair is kind of like that. So that's one is my part. And it kind of gets, well actually I kind of made a part with my vertical line there. But you could draw that line up the center and so you're going in, again, you're going inside your oval and up and over to show length on either side. I don't know why I always have them like peering off to the left. She's like, what is that girl gonna look like? So, and then you can get going and have fun with these and like add like a jelly roll. You can have so much fun with these little faces too. Okay, but that's the middle part. All right, so let's do long hair. Long hair with bangs, which we haven't really done. So I'm gonna put her, let's say our part's gonna be here. She's gonna have like long sweeping bangs, like kind of 70s. All right, so I'm going again, penetrate through the oval, above and beyond. She'll have like, and see how every time I draw a line, I go back to the part, okay? I'm not starting any lines at all. no matter if they're bangs or regular hair, they don't start from the top, okay? So that's really important. It's hard because these are, you have these great big Farrah Fawcett like wisps. Maybe she'll be looking at her like, don't look at me, so gross. She's definite frowny face, she's mad. She's getting the evil eye from her triggered neighbor, as my kids like to say, everything's triggered. So funny. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I forgot one. Another one that is really good to know is doing it with like a headband. So this one I used to use a lot with kids because kids wear headbands, but also this is a great way to incorporate your oval, because if you were doing a headband, you would, that's the only time where I use like your actual lines of your what's it called, original oval. So that's like the perfect place for a headband. Okay, so here is my headband. And then the hair could, which I did like a bad job of doing. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to like beef up that line and it just looks kind of like a hot mess. So that, look, she still has a part. It's like you have, because your hair falls, you know, to the right or the left. And so I didn't even do that, I just did that out of habit, but, right, you could have like all the hair coming that way. She's like, I'm super sad because I didn't want a headband at all. And now I have an ugly headband. So yeah. So anyways, that's a great use of using your oval shape to make your hair. All right, let's do some more. Talk about short hairstyles too. I love me a short hairstyle. Well, I like to draw them. I think they're fun. Again, for every haircut, you know, step 1, part, step 2, in the circle, step 3, out of the circle. And then also, I guess my next decision I always make is, well, do they have bangs or not? So let's do some short hairstyles and see what we can come up with. One of my favorite ones to draw is like kind of like a bob, like a stacked bob, which is also like a common hairstyle people actually have today, you know, because my drawings are super realistic. And you can do this with or without bangs. I'll do one with. So here's my part, and sometimes I draw these like chunky, if I'm too lazy to draw like lines, I just draw like chunks of lines, right? Like this section would contain, it's more of like a cartoony style. But I do like to do this in some weird way that I don't really know why. So it's like this cute little stackedness. I'm not teaching this very well, I don't think. But the end result is part, right, bangs in the circle, hair above and beyond. And you can kind of make this bigger even still, you know, and actually if you're like, I don't like that, I'm gonna make it longer, you can even make kind of longer chunks, turn this into, have sections, just play and have fun, right? And there's like a cute mottled chunky, maybe, I feel like some of this should be pink, you know. Again, they're always peering over their shoulder, I don't know why, and they're mad every time. She almost looks, she has so much hair up on top because I made her ours too low because I didn't do my cross hatching, my cross hairs. Her hair is like enormous, but who cares? Maybe it's blue. I feel like it would be blue, don't you? Blue and pink. You could just imagine it being all sorts of crazy things. All right, so have fun. It's just fun. It's a really fun exercise. Let's see. You could do a short hair. Say she had no bangs, side part. Oh, I said no bangs, and then here I just made her bangs. That was dumb. All right, but again, you could do something very simple. Boom, just done. Okay, you don't have to get crazy, or unless you wanted to. What else? We could do a headband. We haven't done a headband with bangs yet. So I just realized it's like my copy of my book. She's got a headband, right? So that's when you use the oval. You trace the top of your oval to get your width of your band, and then we can give her some bangs this way. And then again, I always do give the part as well. Okay. You do see that? I don't know why the headband always has to be striped, but clearly it does. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. All right, and she's mad at her neighbor. Everybody's mad every time. Ooh, she's like, oh, she's no face. Ooh. All right, so headband. Can't say that. What are some other fun ones? Let's see. If I'm super lazy and I don't feel like drawing braids, then I sometimes just draw these like bubbles. These are really fun bubbles that you can draw, which I have no patience for drawing braids. I do have one in my book also. And those of you who know me know that I'm super lazy. So if I can create a shortcut for myself, I'm all about it. And so if you would like to borrow my braid shortcut, this is it. Okay, braid in 10 seconds or less. It's just fun. And I've done a lot of these painted, and I love how they look. They're just cute. I'm not like doing any of this correctly. I'm just having fun at this point. So anyways, yeah, fun, quick and easy braid, and you can, you know, show the hairs being bunched, or you can just run that in. Maybe she's got like flyaways. Sweet. Okay, oh no. All right, I got 3 more, so I gotta finish. Let's see, what have we not done yet? Let's see, we've done low ponies, we've done high buns. See, there's not that many possibilities. All right, say she has like, she could have like a fro. And say say she's got like a, you know, everything's bunched around her head. I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what I'm drawing right now. But, and I don't even have it on camera to build. You can do whatever you want. Let's see. I've seen some artists, which I have to say I love it, like when they're working in watercolor, they'll just do this kind of a shape, which totally kills. Well, there's two things I love to see that I love. I just have literally like a ring of hair. Oh, this nice drying out marker that I have. Don't forget to go in your circle. Right, and this could be like a headband. You could have a headband here, and then, you know, the circle, maybe this is like wavy to indicate like wavy here. Hilarious. Maybe this headband will be striped. But no matter what you do, those steps are the same. Okay, and I think the only one I haven't done, which is like probably the most popular way that I usually do hair is, oh wait, you know what actually I haven't discussed is like no bangs in the swish, the big swish, okay? So I draw, this is very Jane Davenporty to have hair flailing in the sky, right? So the important part again is that you have to penetrate through that circle. You cannot avoid it, and you can't do this and have it look normal. That will never look normal. So you make sure you have to have hair cutting through that line, okay? So if her hair is wisping off like that, you have to make an excuse why for this side to also go up and penetrate through the oval in this direction as well. And then it will be fine, okay? And then you can have you can swoosh to your heart's content. Whee, whoa. You can't even see how long I made that go up, okay? So as long as you follow those rules for every single hairstyle, you will be fine. You'll be fine. Okay? You will be absolutely right as rain. So I hope that that is helpful. And it doesn't matter what medium you're using. It really doesn't. The principles of your hair are exactly the same. So if I was doing a painting and I was painting this one, you know, every time I pick up my paintbrush, sorry, my camera work, I would pick it up just like I discussed before, start back at the hair, where the hair originates, and see how all of these lines go back to where the hair grows. Okay, that's where you're drawing your line from. Does your hair start growing from here? No, it starts growing from your head. So every time you pick up your pencil or your paintbrush or your marker, you start back at the head and you draw your lines accordingly. Okay? You guys, I hope that was helpful. If you have any more questions, please, please, please let me know. I am here for you. Yeah, I'm here for you. So make some heads. You can use, you know, you can use paint to do this exercise. You can do pencil or pen like I did, just to keep it simple. But yes, I hope that's helpful. I hope I went through enough examples where you can go forth into the world and, you know, have enough inspiration to get you started. So, all right, guys, have fun. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the flip side.